So, what a week, huh, bud?
Dude.
Yeah.
Another
Red
week.
Robin. I hope Red Robin has fish.
We gotta make sure everybody else is good with the Red Robin.
I'm sure everybody is. Nobody really cares. I got in trouble, but I got in big trouble yesterday.
You did? What'd you do?
Thank you for downloading our recent episode. For more episodes like this, go to movieguyspodcast.podbean.com for more episodes. Enjoy the show.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another awesome episode of Movie Guys Podcast. And tonight we're talking about part 3 of a possible trilogy. We're talking about Wake Up Dead Man. Eric, how the hell are you doing?
What do you mean possible trilogy?
I don't know. I don't know if they're going to do any more after this. It's just 3 movies. I don't know.
Oh, well, of a current trilogy. Yes, I'm doing great. I'm excited for this as well, too. I do enjoy these series. I enjoy them more than the Agatha Christie series that we got. It's fun. Nice little detective romp, I guess. So, yeah. I don't know. Chad, are you a fan of these type of movies?
This is my first exposure to the Knives Out flicks.
Wonderful. So, are you familiar with Rian Johnson at all?
Oh yeah, I know how great he has been for franchises. Star Wars.
Okay. Aside from the Star Wars saga, do you have any, I guess, familiarity with his works beforehand?
No, absolutely not. This is the second movie of his that I've seen.
Okay.
Didn't he do George Washington? That was like his debut.
His debut?
Wasn't that a movie like a little independent movie called George Washington?
Oh, I'm unfamiliar with the independent movie then, but I knew him from Brick, from the JGL project, which was one of those like very presumptuous kind of. It was a fast talking movie. It was a movie where you get lost on very quickly because people are talking fast. The characters are going quick. They assume that you know everybody, and so there are many times where you have to go, hold on, let me. Who is this person? Who's Bob? Who's Kim? Like you have to kind of get grounded again. But after that, he did a movie called The Brothers Bloom with, was it Adrian Brody and Mark Ruffalo?
But you're not talking about the big one, the one that made him
fan of that one.
Popular, right? Looper. He directed Looper, right?
Looper.
Yeah. Chad, have you seen Looper?
No, it's on my list of movies to watch.
Oh,
but
so yeah.
Well, I think Looper was a good idea on paper, but it is one of those movies where after the first watch, and maybe if the second watch, you're just going, okay, there's a lot of problems with this.
Yeah, which is
that's too bad.
Par for the course for Rian Johnson.
There's a paradox. It's a time travel paradox because it doesn't really work out that way. But again, it's a fantasy. Go along with it, kind of a thing. Okay, I'm sure I'm with you. Yeah, but I'm not going to try to get into the science of that. Moving on, I think these types of movies, these Knives Out, I guess if we want to call it that trilogy here, I think this is a little bit more of his wheelhouse. I think this is more of his expertise. I think he does a better job with this, which is kind of what Brick was. Which he was also a writer-director on that. Same with these movies. So I think that this is what he does best.
So I got to make a list, right? I got to make a list one day of, I don't know what to call it, but like movies that made the schedule and then were taken off and then made the schedule again and then was taken off again and never put back on. And that was the first 2 Knives Out movies. Like, those movies came out since we've been reviewing. And it's been on the schedule, it's been taken off, on the schedule, taken off. There's so many movies like that. Date Night, one of them. So, Game Night.
The classic Game Night. Yeah.
But yeah, so this is the first time we're ever reviewing a Knives Out trilogy. I had no idea what I was getting myself into because I never saw the originals. Now my wife did, so my wife was kind of interested in seeing the third movie. I thought they were period pieces. I didn't know they were set in modern times. I didn't know. I mean, like, I don't know. This one was set in America. Are all of them set in the United States, or they just all cross the world in the other two? I mean, like, are they?
No, they're for the most part. Yeah, it's all U.S. of A.
So this is Daniel Craig trying to do an American accent, or is he just?
Well, I'm trying to think. It's not in U.S. of A. because I think the second one, even though like all the characters for the most part are American, the second one was like on an island. I don't think that was American though. Let's look it up.
Was the second one called like Glass Onion or something like that? It was weird.
Yeah, Glass Onion. And it was on a private Greek island.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, it was a tech billionaire with all of his obnoxious friends. And they went to a Greek island, and he was throwing like a dinner party, like a murder mystery dinner party. But believe it or not, there actually was a murder mystery after, and, you know.
So on that though,
was it Benoit Blanc had to solve the case? What's that?
So it's Daniel Craig Blanc. So is he the only one that's returning in all three movies then as a character?
That's right. Again, in the same theme of Agatha Christie, they're following the detective. So on that one, and like the Murder on Orient Express, Murder on the Nile, or Death on the Nile, it's Hercule Poirot. And on this one, the detective is Benoit Blanc.
Okay, and this is not based off of a book, because I thought this was based off of books like the other ones, like Agatha Christie. This is just Rian Johnson's thing. Okay.
Yes.
Gotcha. So Chad, did you know what you were getting yourself into? Did you know this was going to be Clue on steroids before you press play on this one?
So I kind of thought so, just based off of, because I never saw an advertisement for this flick, first of all. Second of all, I kind of got that feel from the advertisements for the other Knives Out movies. So I kind of figured murder, mystery, whodunit, kind of spirit. So I was ready for that. It was just a matter of time, waiting the first part of this movie for that to happen.
I actually kind of dug it, right? I really dug the beginning story a lot for this, right? The harlot whore storyline.
Yeah.
There's a lot more that the movie doesn't tell us, in my opinion, that is there, and I'm kind of interested in it. But so, not knowing the history, not knowing about Knives Out, Daniel Craig, I'm thinking this is a British film. I'm thinking this is a period piece set in the early 1900s, kind of thing, like Agatha Christie. That's what I'm thinking I'm getting into. So I was quite shocked when we get iPhones and it's modern time and it's in the grand old U.S. of A. What do you got, Eric? What do you think about the beginning here, right? So we get introduced to the story of the harlot whore. So we have this old dude preacher. Where does the harlot whore come into play? She is the daughter of the preacher, the old preacher? Eric?
Yes.
But
is that right?
But she's a whore, though. Meaning that, well, I mean, not a whore, but she's a bastard child, is she not?
No, I think it was that her life decisions are not of the church. Is that a good way of putting that?
Yeah, that's kind of what I took away from it.
Okay, gotcha, because she was spoiled.
Whether if you wanted to label her that, but it was one of those where obviously she was a rebellious life, and the family that she had was very much a model family, very pristine of like the church, and yeah, so
we get her story where her dad's the preacher of this church. He has a following, and she is kind of like a Kim Kardashian type, right? She's entitled and I want more. Gimme, 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 gimme. She knows her dad has money, and when he dies, she's going to inherit this money. But we don't know what the money is or where the money is, right? And then we get this little girl who sees the preacher die, all this crazy stuff. And once this happens, I'm like, oh my God, this is one of those like Clue movies. I'm really invested. So this is on Netflix. So I went back and rewound the beginning again because I really wanted to pay attention because all the details are right there in the beginning, especially from what you get at the end. So,
Yeah.
it's just,
Usually with these types of movies, you can, I guess that's the fun of this movie is trying to solve the case, trying to crack it, right? And I think for the most part, Rian Johnson does a pretty good job of laying it all out there in the beginning. And same with all the other movies where it's like there, but there are a few others, and this is always what kind of threw me because I was never really good at these detective type movies or puzzles because I would always miss the details, or there would be a detail in here that you would just have to like assume because they maybe show you brief or you just have to guess and you're just like, well, how the flip am I supposed to know that shit kind of a thing. And that's just me not being good at the genre.
So the story that I get so far, and guys, both of you, correct me if I'm wrong, but the preacher dies, and a young girl who's a part of the church sees him die, and then I'm just going to call her what they call the movie. So the daughter, the harlot whore, is entitled to this money. She's flipping out, trying to get this money. She's desecrating the church, and the next scene is she's beating up on this little girl. Until eventually where the harlot whore goes away and she kills herself? Yes?
Up against the tomb.
Up against the tomb, she kills herself. So while this is going on, this is a letter that is written by the young priest to Daniel Craig. So let's talk about the young priest. Young priest who we're following. Judd is his name, right?
That's right.
Yes.
Judd is this young priest who was a boxer with a heart of gold, right? He got angry one time like Jake Gyllenhaal did in the remake of Roundhouse and killed a guy in the ring. Remember that review, Eric?
Yes, I won't forever forget it.
I just brought it back for you. And he killed a guy in the ring, so he goes into priesthood, and he is a renegade. He's an outlaw. He's a priest, but he's going to show his passion. So, I don't know, the Cardinals, the other fellow priests are like, hey, bud, the guy that you punched out is kind of a dick and we don't like him, but we're going to send you to this nowhere zone as a punishment. So that's why he is sent there. That's how I took it. He was sent there as a punishment to Josh Brolin's church.
Thanos. The Church of Thanos.
I don't think it was a punishment so much as the other parishioners or the council that he was a part of. Like, I think the guy, who was it? A bishop, excuse me, Jeffrey Wright was this guy who knows that Father Judd is a good person, that he didn't mean it obviously with ill intent, that the other guy was a dick, and that he is a good father, or a good person to have in the faith. They want him on his team. I think he just knows that this other church is kind of like a diamond in the rough, where like you have a Monsignor who is potentially thinking of retirement and will hand over the reins, and this guy is a younger guy, and it's a challenge. I wouldn't say it's so much of a punishment.
Did you take it as a punishment, Chad, or do you agree with Eric?
I mean, they knew he was a pain, so yeah. Those kinds of church appointments, I've seen those play out. That was a punishment.
Oh,
He thought, he probably thought, it's just in the middle of nowhere. Well, how bad can it be? And they're like, You'll find out.
Fair enough, right? So like Judd shows up, and we get introduced to Thanos himself. And then Josh Brolin, looking great. Eric made fun of me earlier because since I've been on a Tron kick this month, I said Jeff Bridges was in this movie. He looks like Jeff Bridges in Tron. He does.
Yeah.
And to screw with Father Judd, he takes him outside to confess of his masturbation tactics. So, watch this movie all the way through. Right? I just finished it probably 15 minutes before we got into this review because I watched half of it last night and the other half tonight. Josh Brolin, he's not a religious dude, right? I mean, he just, at this point in his life, he doesn't care. That's what I take from this. This whole masturbation confession thing? Or am I wrong? Chad, what do you think?
He's messing with him.
But why?
Because because he probably wants to see what he's worth.
Do you agree with that, Eric? Or do you think he just doesn't care?
I think Monsignor Wicks is the character that, as you say, Jeff Bridges plays, that Josh Brolin plays. And no, I think this is a guy who started off, again, with proper intent with his grandfather, right, in doing the church. But I think he, much like his parishioners, got corrupted and are looking for something else. I think he is a person that preys off of his parishioners, that he looks to get something out of them, whether it be money, whether it be influence, or whether it be service, right? So money off of the wheelchair lady, or service off of the lawyer, certain kind of things. And he is very much, he's a narcissist. I think that's, and it sounds like, again, that he is doing his best to be able to gain this inheritance so that he can retire, right? And he's using that through the channels that he has kind of created.
Well, because we see that in other scenes, right, where it's like he has his flock, he has his traditional followers, but anytime anybody else comes in, he just completely calls them out without even knowing them and embarrasses them, and they leave. So he has to have his flock. And I totally agree that he's a narcissist. Totally agree. But I don't think he knows at this point in time of the movie of the wealth yet, right? The only person that knows of the wealth is Glenn Close at this point, right? When Judd arrives. Or am I wrong, Eric?
Yeah. No, you're right. Obviously, she has no claim to that fortune, but I think that also the talk is that there is a fortune, just not to, I don't want to say element, but to what degree of the fortune it is, as far as what it is, how much it is worth. Is it like a Swiss bank account, or is it something else?
So Chad, do you think that she's conspiring with Josh Brolin at this point, or do you think that Glenn Close holds all the keys right now?
I don't know if she's conspiring with him. She could definitely hold all the keys at this point, because just from my own experience, a lot of these types of people in these positions, you have a lot of power because you have knowledge. You know exactly who's got what and when and where, and especially all the money, knowing where all those things are. Yeah, I'm kind of onto her early on.
Yeah, she's pretty obvious at this point, right? Because we find out that she was the young girl that was getting beat up by the harlot whore, and she stayed on to the church, and she runs the church, right? Nothing that happens within the church organization does not go through her, right? Like, everything goes through her.
Right.
So Judd's here. Wicks, Josh Brolin's character, is screwing with him a lot of back and forth screwing with Judd, right? Just kind of build up. But to the murder, Josh Brolin is doing his sermon, I guess, right? And he goes to the side room to kind of just take a breath, take a shot of whiskey in his flask. The next thing we know, he's dead with a horned devil dog in his back. So now, how did this happen? That's the rest of the movie, and this is where Daniel Craig comes in to play. This is where it kind of sparked my interest. I don't know how you feel about it, Eric, but it's like, okay, clearly there was a fake floor. Clearly there was a fake wall. Like, the murderer is not any of these people in the flock, or maybe they know somebody from the flock, but they came out from under the floor or behind the wall to stab him in the back to frame Judd, right? I mean, that's what it tells me.
This, much like the other movies, sets it up the same way. Everyone is a suspect. Everyone has probable cause. Everyone has an alibi. It's all there. So it's kind of hard to point the finger at one thing without continuing your detective research as to give good reason. So it's not just an easy thing as Clue, as it's Colonel Mustard, in the conservatory with the lead pipe. It's like, okay, you got to really dig deep and figure out, well, why? Who would have to do this? Why? And what's interesting about these movies is that more happens the more he digs, the more that Benoit digs. So in this movie, like, as he's trying to gather all his evidence and he's getting more of a story out of everybody, then something else happens, like the tomb. Like, we have what we see, or seems like Monsignor Wicks rising out of his tomb and walking into the woods. So it's like more details that happens. I enjoy these movies. These are always ones that keep you guessing because you don't really know what to expect. But I think it's fun because, Jordan, I had asked you, who did you think had done the crime? And I think you had guessed it pretty early because you thought of the character. You're like, oh, well, they casted this person, that must mean. And, like, okay, I understand if it was like, what's that movie, Thanksgiving?
Yeah.
That we did.
Yeah, we reviewed Thanksgiving.
Where McSteamy.
Yeah.
Yeah, where McSteamy was hired. I know you did last summer, if it's Freddie Prinze Jr. So, if you cast him, it's got to be him. Right. But, like, these movies have a lot of people in them. They have a lot of star power. And not just, like, the B list. I mean, you have some top tier actors in here as well, too. And no, I'm not talking about Mila Kunis.
No. Chad.
Didn't see that coming.
Wicks gets murdered. So, Chad, do you have a thought of who's your suspect? Who's your top suspect? Who killed Wicks at this point in time in the movie?
Well, immediately I'm like, okay, shoot, did I miss something? Did somebody step away that's not there? I'm suspecting a little bit the groundsman because I don't remember seeing him in the church.
Oh,
cast of characters you've already seen.
That's a good guess.
I don't remember seeing him in the church, and so I'm like, okay, well, I mean, math being math, like, here's what we're looking for.
That's good, Chad. Because
so just to go over the list of suspects, you have the groundskeeper, played by Thomas Hayden Church, right?
Sandman himself,
and he is in love with Glenn Close's character Martha, right?
Cruella de Vil, yes.
Oh my gosh.
So automatically those are two people who are obviously very heavily into the church. Then you also have Jeremy Renner. You have Dr. Sharp, who is this local town doctor who's fallen on hard times, is gone into alcohol and whatever this spiritual thing that he's looking at, right? So that's another thing. So and then you have Kerry Washington, and I think she's a lawyer,
she's
right?
She's a lawyer. Well, she's a lawyer, but is she a lawyer to the church? I think she's a lawyer to the church.
Her father was close friends with either the grandfather or Monsignor Wicks. I think her yeah, because then we get another reveal at the end, right? That her grandfather, who brought home, was it Sai, who is her son? Or oh boy, I need to look this up. It's
They
obviously
suspect
you've
it's
seen
his
it.
little brother.
Yeah, yeah. The dad just brought home Sai one day, and just like, this is your brother. Yeah, and this is a young guy who's taking in a career into politics, right? But he's very much like viral politics. He's filming everything and doing YouTube and really trying to go hard in on like the pandering. So, but yeah, he's an illegitimate son to her father, right?
And then we got the lady in the wheelchair who was a great musician,
Oh yes,
and she donates a lot of money to the church because she believes Wicks can heal her so she can walk again without pain.
yep. So I think that's the flock, right?
Oh, Judd's a suspect too.
Oh yeah, and then there's the author, the crazy author,
Yes.
Lee Ross, played by Andrew Scott, who was like this. What was it? Well, he was like a sci-fi author, and then he's just kind of turned into like a hack, basically.
Yeah, like if George McFly did not have a good selling novel, that's what this guy would be. You know,
There you go.
Just a guy.
Also, we left out a pretty important scene, I thought.
What's
And
that?
I should have gone back and rewatched it and paused on it. But as Judd's coming home from that bar the night before the murder, he stumbles upon who he thinks is the groundsman digging out in the middle of nowhere, right by the church. In the night,
Yes.
because the scene goes, he goes, "Who's there?" And he goes, "Oh crap, somebody's gonna see me." And he pedals away really quickly, and the next morning, the next day is when. So there's something there. There's a bit of a tale of a scene there that I think they're gonna jump into later.
Right.
Right.
So Daniel Craig gets into the cast, right? He is he's a private detective, right? And he's working with Mila Kunis, who is great in this role, but too small for her hat. Reminds me of Scary Movie 3. If you guys get that reference. I know Eric does.
Yeah.
And she plays a heart of gold. I got Eric to laugh on that one. She plays a cop with a heart of gold, and she's trying to figure out what's going on. How did this guy get killed? And now we're going to figure it out. So one of the first stops they make is the pub, right, or the bar. And on top of these lampshades are these like dog devil figures on top of the lampshades. At the end of the movie, we see what Daniel Craig sees. What the movie tells us is that we see a doctor bag on the floor next to the stool. But I think what the movie's telling us is that what Daniel Craig sees is that there are 2 dog head missings, not 1 dog head missing. That's what I think the movie's trying to tell us. So Daniel Craig's already seen that. I don't know how you guys feel, but I like love and hate these kind of movies, right? I like that, like the Daniel Craig character is just so pure and just sees everything that we don't see right off the bat, and that's great. But then I also kind of find it to be a little annoying, like a little like, I don't know how to explain it, but more of just like, okay, so this guy's like super smart and we're all super dumb. Is that how it's supposed to be played? I don't know if I'm making sense on it. No?
Okay, hold on. Then let me maybe help you out here. What I appreciate about him, because I tried to live my life like this, not to this to this extent of detail, but I like to gather all the information before I make a final kind of a statement. I want to make sure I have all the details that I possibly can. So from the moment that he is brought in, which he's excited to take the case because it's curious, to the moment where we get to the end of the movie, he is just there collecting data. He's there just observing. He's there just taking in the details and just storing it away. Be like, oh, okay, well, that, okay, the bar, okay, the music box. He's collecting all the data that he's hoping to piece together, and he tells everybody repeatedly that no, I'm not ready yet. I'm not ready to make my grand play at the end here, which he suggests later on that's how he gets off, kind of a thing. That gotcha moment where he's just like, and then this is what happens, and he's able to do it this way. I think it's a wonderful change, because as much as he likes having that moment, he realizes that there's something that he has to accept in this part too, because Judd tells him that sometimes it's not just about being right and having that aha moment and being like, I told you so and I got you right. Sometimes, what does he say? That it's about a higher calling, right? It's
about a higher.
Help me out. Remember what Judd was? Yeah.
No, 100%. Yeah, it's about a higher calling, so it makes him look at things a little bit differently. Chad, how do you feel about Daniel Craig in this movie? Like, is it hard for you to separate Bond from this, or do you think that Daniel Craig fits the mold of this movie pretty well?
I personally love the juxtaposition when these actors find a role that is the complete. At least it's, I won't say complete opposite, but it's a definitely a spin away from what they're usually typecast as doing. So yeah, you think of Daniel Craig, you think of Bond, but this a bit of an eccentric character. Very interested in all of these details. Like, okay, like I like the hair. I kind of like everything about him. It's a refreshing take for him.
So it's interesting because throughout a lot of this movie, my arms are kind of folded, right? Because Daniel Craig is, in my opinion, my favorite and also the best Bond. So it's like very hard to separate my favorite Bond to this long hair, weird accent. Is he supposed to be English? Is that his character? Or is he?
No, he's supposed to be like a Southern gentleman.
Oh, is that what he's supposed to be? Okay. So he's an American, but he's from the South. Oh, that's terrible.
That's kind of what it sounds.
I don't know. Yeah, it sounds like it. I don't know. It's Atticus Finch kind of a thing.
Ooh, good one.
Okay, fair enough.
Now I do say,
Yeah, foghorn leghorn, right?
I do declare.
I do declare.
I want to say that one time in my life.
If it pleases the courtroom, I'd like to. All right, yeah, I'm done.
Are we doing Joker?
I'm just getting started.
Are we doing Joker Folly Out Duel in that scene where he does foghorn leghorn? Okay, so Wicks is dead. And they put Wicks, the flock, put Wicks's body in the tomb next to his father, who's been buried there for, I don't know, 30 years more. So now it comes to the part of how did Wicks die? Who killed Wicks? We talked about that. But then we also get a cutscene of Wicks alive talking to the flock, pretty much calling them out on their BS and saying what he's planning on doing, that he has dirt on all the members of the flock, that he has a plan to get rich, and if they try to stop him, that he's going to expose them for everything that they have. And he sounds like he has some good dirt, which is a great scene because now everybody literally is a suspect at this point. I mean, like, the lawyer, now the groundskeeper, they're all suspects. I think this is the best scene in the whole movie, where he sits there and just calls them all out. Personally, I think it's a great scene.
Oh, sure. It deepens the plot, that's for sure.
So it goes to show you the power that these types of people have when you're trusting your faith in them. You're putting their faith in them. You're putting your moral system based around what they tell you in confessional
Yeah.
it's that power dynamic is. I'm glad it's explored.
Got a Scientology vibe from it.
Chad, did you have any idea what Eve's apple was? Because they introduced this snow globe, right? And it's kind of said like Eve's apple on it, but that was kind of like a MacGuffin, right? I mean, did you think it was this jewel? Do you have an opinion about what Eve's apple was?
No, not a clue.
No?
I yeah, I kind of I buckled into a little bit. Normally I am like that though. I'll try to look, and I'll try to pick up on things. There's one piece that I'll talk about later that I kind of guessed, but everything else, no, none.
So Monsignor Wicks is put into this tomb that can only be opened from the inside. It's kind of got this seal on it, and it's been put there by a crane that's made special for this type of tomb, and it's put in there. And as Mr. Blanc is there reviewing everything and getting all that, suddenly a miracle happens, and it's caught on camera, a motion sensor camera that's in front of the groundskeeper's house. It captures the door opening, or falling rather, and then having what looks like Monsignor Wicks walking out of the tomb and then going into the woods. Yes,
He looked legit. He comes out of the tomb. Tomb opens up from the inside, walks to the woods, and braces a guy wearing black, walk into the trees, and then all of a sudden here comes Father Judd running, slipping onto mud, and going in the distance. Okay, we've gone on for a while. Do we want to say what happened, or do we want to keep on just keeping this close to the vest here? Because there's some stuff to unpack at this point. This is a very important scene.
no, go to rip the Band-Aid off, because we have to talk about how it all kind of ties together as well too, right?
So spoilers if you've not heard this, but here we go. So the actual murderer is Hawkeye, who Jeremy Renner, the doctor, who was recruited by Glenn Close. And this part of the movie is Glenn Close wanted to stage a miracle. So Josh Brolin's character is dead. Wicks is dead at this point. And she put the groundskeeper, who she's in love with, into the casket to make him look like, with like mustache stuff, to look like Wicks. And then they were going to give signals to each other via Apple Watches that it's time for him to escape. So this is where the groundskeeper escapes from the tomb. Wicks is dead. He's gone. Forget about Wicks. And the groundskeeper is in cahoots with Jeremy Renner and with Glenn Close at this point. And Judd, throughout the rest of this movie, screws it all up for him. Not really, though, right? Because Judd screws it up for a little bit, but Jeremy Renner sees Eve's apple, and he gets like, hey, my wife will come back if I have all this money, because it's a jewel.
Yeah, but then he also dies because, right, isn't the body brought to his house and then he has a tub of acid?
Yes.
But
yeah, so Wicks's body's brought to his house because it's a tub of acid, and he and Glenn Close are talking in his basement, and he poisons her coffee, but when he doesn't look, she switches the coffee, where he drinks the poison coffee. So then she puts his body into the acid to try to get rid of him. And the whole point of this was for Glenn Close, was to show a miracle that Wicks has resurrected. The whole point.
Yep. Basically.
Because I don't feel that Glenn Close's character wants to get rich from Eve's apple, right? She wants the church to go on. She wants it to continue. But she wants the I'm not going to say fear. That's a bad word. But she wants, I don't know. Give me a word that's better than fear, right? She wants the mythology that Wicks is a prophet, right? So everybody comes to the church and the church becomes successful. That's her end game.
Right.
Am I wrong? Right? Am I wrong?
I don't think it's I think she wants to kind of preserve, I guess, the church, right? In the memory of who's the father then that died,
Starts with a P. Starts with a P. Prince,
Reverend
Prancer.
Wicks, Prentice Wicks. Am I saying that right? Either way,
Sounds like Prancer to me, bud.
sure, Prancer. You got it, Jordan. She wants to maybe preserve his memory and the lesson that, because she was brought in by him, and I think she looked up to him a lot more, and she sees that his daughter Grace and grandson Monsignor Wicks, Josh Brolin, are nowhere near the the idol that she puts grandfather Wicks, I'll call him that, to be. She sees him, or holds him in high regard, and sees the other two to be like this rotten fruit of this tree, and she is trying to hold on and make sure that this isn't not going to fall into the wrong hands. She doesn't find them to be deserving, right? So I think that's kind of what that is.
I mean, if you're looking for parallels from
So-
other flicks, she's kind of doing the Ewan McGregor from Angels and Demons, trying to preserve the church, trying to
Yeah.
do this backwards scandal of making it look like it's a miracle, and it's all just a big scam.
Yeah.
Chad, I'm proud of you.
You're proud of me? Thanks, Dad.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm proud of you. That was good, right? So we all get the big reveal at the end, right? So Daniel Craig has the big announcement, right? How did Wicks get killed? All this stuff happened, but then Judd just really feels that he just feels it, right? That he killed the groundskeeper. Wicks just won't let him confess to this crime, to where the point to where Glenn Close confesses. She talks to Judd as, forgive me, Father, for I've sinned. She tells the whole story, but she also took the poison herself, so now she commits suicide too.
Yeah.
Which means, if all of us have seen What Dreams May Come, we know what that means for Glenn Close.
Oh.
But she asks for forgiveness, and Father Judd absolves her of all sins. She even asks forgiveness from Grace, the person who I think was maybe kind of her motivation from the start to do all this. So, because she hated.
Are you saying that Robin? Are you saying that Robin Williams' wife didn't ask for forgiveness?
You can ask for forgiveness, that's fine, but being absolved is different. So.
Okay, so question for both of you. Chad, I'll ask you first.
You've seen
And
Dogma,
then we
by
go
the way,
to Pop.
buddy. You can ask for forgiveness, but it doesn't matter unless you walk through the threshold of that church.
Yeah, but what dreams may come.
She killed herself.
I'm just saying. Dante's Inferno. I mean,
Wasn't
she's
absolved.
forgiven.
Wasn't absolved.
I'm just saying. Okay.
I don't know what you're saying because I'm telling you that she wasn't absolved.
Hell,
Well, okay, fine. All right, Chad, I will go with you first, Eric after that, and then we go to our popcorn ratings. So here's a question that I was asking my wife when we were finishing the movie tonight. Is Grace really the harlot whore, or is she kind of innocent? What do you say, Chad? No? Nothing?
No, I think it's a distraction.
Oh, really?
I-
Okay. Interesting.
I'm
Elaborate.
trying. and in a lot of religious circles, it's easy to use someone who is not a part of your flock as a scapegoat when there are already other pre-existing issues that have led to your current situation. And I realize I'm speaking in generalities here, but I'm just trying to relate to the movie. Okay, maybe she was the harlot whore. Maybe she went off her rocker. Whatever the townspeople, the church people want to say. Um, but I think the problem was always grooming the daughter to be that type of religious zealot, that was going to lead to trouble. And I feel pretty
Okay,
firmly.
Eric, do you?
No, that's it. I was just saying.
Eric, do you think that Grace? Okay. Sorry, Eric. Do you think that Grace was the harlot whore?
No, I agree with Chad. I think the movie did a pretty good job of showing that she wanted her own path, and through the eyes of, I guess, grandfather Wicks, again, that it was not acceptable, and that Martha, because she was such a student of his, also did not approve of her lifestyle, whether it be one that was promiscuous, or we'll just say it was a lifestyle that did not follow the church's teachings. Okay, she wanted to do her own thing, and whether it be, obviously it brings back a kid, and it's one of those where it was not accepted, and eventually she's like, fine, I'll play your damn game, and try to play the game for a little bit, but it was never going to be in favor for her. It was stacked against her, until eventually she's like, fine, I'm going to get out of here. I don't care anymore. I want to leave. And I think she was just more lashing out because of how trapped that she felt, and she was never going to get the approval from her father. And I think this was just her kind of lashing out. So do I sympathize with her? Yeah. Am I going to say that she's completely innocent? No. Like, she could have done things differently, but then again, so could her father have done things differently as well. But that's just the way that it happened. That's a bummer. So, yeah, I'm not going to put a black mark on her, and, damn her to hell. I'm going to say that, she was misunderstood and kind of just lived life the wrong way.
So, of course, I have to be Jordan on this. This brings me back to Wicked. Seriously. So, you know how Wicked tells us the point of view of the Wicked Witch of the West? I think I would kind of like to write fan fiction on Grace here, right? Her point of view of it. Because all we saw was negative in one point of view, but then we saw a little bit of positive towards the end of it, but not fully. Grace was supposed to be the heir, right? Not Wicks, right? She was supposed to take everything over. Something happened. And, this movie made me question a little bit of, is Grace really as evil and as entitled as the movie's telling us to be? Especially when they said it in the movie here that Grace wasn't tearing up the church because she was upset. She was tearing up the church because she was trying to find the jewel. Well, what's so special about this jewel? Is it because she only wants the jewel because of money? Does she want the jewel because of power? There's a lot of different questions to have with this, and I kind of find it interesting a little bit. So I was kind of thinking of Wicked at this end of it, because I was just like, oh, it'd be kind of cool to see her point of view. Like, what did she feel about what's going on? Because we all know church can be an SOB sometimes, and maybe her dad was a jerk. Maybe she was acting out because she didn't have a good life. I'd like to see that movie, personally. But that's my point of view. So, popcorn rating time. Chad, what is your popcorn rating for Wake Up Dead Man, Knives Out 3?
Oh, boy. Short and sweet. I don't know if it'll win awards. I know it's pretty high in Rotten Tomatoes. I didn't look anywhere else, but usually with these types of whodunit flicks, It's easy for me to enjoy them, especially if it's done well. And I thought it was done well. I'm gonna give it a medium.
I like what you said about these like easy to enjoy flicks, right? Because there's something about murder mystery movies that are just kind of fun. Clue or the Agatha Christie stuff that we were talking about, right? Those kind of movies, like this is fun.
Well,
So
unlike the Agatha Christie ones, this one has a bit of witty humor in it as well too. I think Detective Blanc knows well that not everything is always as it seems, and so he might add in a few jokes or some lighthearted kind of smirks every now and again. But yeah, it's a little bit more lighthearted than the I guess other films that are in its genre.
So this is where I struggle though, because after years of doing these reviews, it's my popcorn rating size depends on rewatchability at this point. Can I rewatch the movie again? And like a part of me is saying no, I'm not going to watch this movie again. So that's where I kind of teeter towards a small. But then I'm very, very honest about the Grace storyline. I think there's more there that the movie's not telling us. So that's where I'm leaning towards more of a medium, because I kind of want to watch like YouTube clip scenes, to like get more information that I'm probably missing. So I don't disagree with Chad. I think overall, I liked everybody in this movie. Ryan Johnson is perfect away from Star Wars, so good job. Yeah, a solid medium's fine for me. I totally agree with Chad. Medium is fine for me. So then, Eric, what is your popcorn rating for Wake Up Dead Man, Knives Out?
Oh yeah, I give this one a medium as well too. I think it's solid, but it's definitely one of those movies where once you see the puzzle, it's kind of hard to enjoy it over again. Just like you said, for rewatchability. I think everyone did a great job. I like the ensemble casts in this movie and like the other ones. I think Josh O'Connor, who played Father Judd, I think he knocked it out of the park. He did a very good job in this movie. And I given the company that he was with, I think that he held his own. He was very good at what he did. There was a part in this movie where he had a speech talking with the I guess the heretic Detective Blanc, who's obviously not a very religious man, and it was questioning like, how can you, somebody like Father Judd, after seeing all of this, still have this faith? And he gives a very profound answer about like this higher calling, about like it's not about me, it's about the others. And I really enjoyed that. I do feel that there is a deeper meaning to a lot of religion, but organized religion has kind of gone off its own thing itself. But I like the first movie more, I think, out of the series. So I think that's something to be said. But no, these are always going to be enjoyable movies. Chad, you said that this was your first exposure to this, I guess, character in Detective Blanc and of the trilogy that we have now. Are you going to go watch the others?
Well, I was just going to ask, do you think I should go back and watch the others? I mean, I enjoyed this. Is it worth investing in the franchise here? Or did I...
Oh, yeah.
Should I expect this, this level with the others?
I would think Knives Out, in my opinion, is better. Knives Out is better than the other three. Although I would put Knives Out, Wake Up Dead Man, and then Glass Onion in that order. Not to say that Glass Onion is bad. I enjoyed all of them. They're fun, and I think that Glass Onion though has a bit more of exaggerated characters. I feel like that cast is a bit more eccentric in their roles, but it's still very enjoyable. The first movie has another Avenger in it, so it has Chris Evans.
Oh, really? Who's the other Avenger? Oh, Chris Evans is in it, huh?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Huh. Again, we never reviewed
Well, I
it,
guess
so therefore I didn't see it.
if you want to do the third, I guess Dave Bautista is in Glass Onion, and he plays Drax, right? So
Oh.
he's not really an Avenger, but I'm,
Kinda.
not really.
Hey,
Huh?
and you realize there's technically 4 Marvel characters in this movie, right?
Who?
In this movie.
Yeah. So we have Thanos, Hawkeye.
That's right. That's right.
Sandman,
That's right.
and then Nova Prime. Glenn Close.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
That's her name, right? Nova Prime.
Yes. Yeah, double check on that. And isn't
So this tells us that Marvel has their hands on literally everything at this point. Oh my god! Who is she? Who is she? Who's
She's in the
Glenn
first Guardians movie. She's Nova Prime.
I don't even
She's
remember her in it.
the leader of the whatever they're called. Where we're
Nova
gonna
Corp?
Yeah, the Nova Corp. Thank you. Where we're gonna get Nova from?
Okay.
The Marvel
All right.
hero Nova.
Okay. Well, that concludes our review for Wake Up Dead Man, a Knives Out trilogy. I think is what they called the official movie, or Knives Out Saga. There's probably going to be a fourth one, more than likely.
Let's see.
But
I wonder
check us out.
if it's greenlit or not.
Check us out on Movie Guys Podcast at podbean.com, wherever you get your podcast from. We are on that platform. Eric and Chad, thank you so much for joining me. And we'll be back next Thursday for another awesome episode. Have a good night.
God bless. I have a top 10 list for a child and a top 10 list for just a regular grown up. So one's like a child, kind of like a child based topic. The other one is just a regular grown up topic.
Okay, am I supposed to choose, or are you going to choose for me?
Pick one.
Pick one. Let's go for adult.
Okay. What are, let's see, the top universities in America? And I am starting this with, let's see, 7, 8, 9. Wait, is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's technically, I'm going to say top 10, but it's technically 11 because there's a couple of ties.
Okay.
So there's like a 3-way tie for 9th, and then it jumps to 12. So we're just going to basically do the top 10, 11, technically, colleges in the United States. These are rankings evaluated on a 19-point system covering peer assessment, graduation rates, faculty resources, and more.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, this is easy. I thought you were going to give me something hard. I might as well have done the kid version.
The kid version is ridiculous.
We probably should do it just we probably should do it for material.
Yeah, we'll do both, but
okay.
Go ahead and give me your top 11.
Okay.
And then I'll tell you.
Okay, so let's go with the obvious right off the bat, right? You got Yale, Harvard, right there.
Hang on. Well, okay. You got to give me the number they're in too.
Yale is number 4.
Yale is 4. Okay.
Harvard, probably 3. Princeton, let's say 5. Brown, 2. MIT, 1. UCLA, 6. Michigan University, 7. Ohio State, 8. Let's do just because I'm going to follow the Big Ten. Let's do Penn State 9, and number 10, something West Coast a little bit more.
2 spots left, 10 and 11 technically.
Okay. I said Brown. I said Princeton. I said Yale, Harvard. I'm probably missing an Ivy League in there somewhere, but that's okay.
You're thinking too hard in the Big Ten.
Yeah, I'm thinking too hard.
I'll give you that.
Yeah, probably. I'm going to say, no, not Florida. Florida's a party school. Florida State's a party school. Let's see here. Harvard, Yale, Brown, Princeton. I said MIT, didn't I? So let's say
There's a school in the Big Ten and a school that from the former Pac-12 that you're missing.
former Pac-12. So let's just say Washington, and you know what? Let's just screw it. Let's say Washington and Florida.
Okay.
Those are my picks. And Eric says he's logging on. Anyway.
So out of all of those, you got 5.
Perfect. So I'm 50%. I can't complain with that. What do I? Okay.
Not bad.
Yeah. What do we got?
Number one, Princeton.
Yeah.
Number 2, MIT. So you're real close with MIT. Number 3, there's a 2-way tie for 3, Harvard and Stanford.
Oh, Stanford. Oh, I forgot about Stanford.
That was the Pac-12 school.
Yeah.
Yep. Washington's on the list, but they're near the bottom. Okay, Washington or Harvard, Stanford, Yale at 5. 6 is Penn, like the University of Pennsylvania, not Penn State, but University of Pennsylvania.
Oh, really?
Ivy League.
Okay. All right.
Yep. 2-way tie at 7, Caltech and Duke.
Duke. Okay. Yeah.
And then a 3-way tie at number 9 between Brown, Johns Hopkins, and Northwestern. Northwestern was that other Big Ten school. I was trying to say, you're thinking too hard. Northwestern is the Ivy League of the Big Ten, essentially.
Right, I would agree with you on that, but it's like, but see, like nobody thinks of Northwestern as the Ivy League of Big Ten, right? So, like,
I mean, unless you have any kind of history there, yeah, you would never be like, oh,
yeah, you would never think Northwestern would be
Big Ten.
Yeah, totally agree with you.
I did a count. There are 12 Big Ten teams in the top 50.
Can I name you? Can you pull up the list for me real quick because the Big Ten has changed so much? Can I name you off the top of my head the Big Ten football schools? Because it's changed. Okay.
Yep.
Obvious Michigan, Ohio State, right?
Yep.
Northwestern, Purdue.
Yep. Yep.
Michigan State.
Yep.
Wisconsin.
You're doing this in a really weird order, but I love it.
Minnesota. Washington, Oregon. How many am I missing?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Wait, 3, 6, 9. You have 9. You have half the league.
How many more do I have left?
9.
I have 9 left.
Yeah.
Okay. 9 left.
Okay. Can I help you?
No, hold on. Yep. UCLA, USC.
Yep.
So that's 7 left. Okay, what are you going to help me with?
I was going to say start over and really think about it when you're going state by state.
Okay, I'm going to go west to east, okay?
Okay.
I'm going to go for the Big Ten. I'm going to go Washington, Oregon, USC, UCLA.
Yep.
Nothing in the middle, really, right?
Nothing in Mountain Time.
No.
Now the rest.
So
now you go Central Time.
So then you got Indiana, Purdue, Northwestern, Wisconsin, Michigan, Michigan State, Ohio State. Nothing south, so keep going east. Then you got Penn State. You got Maryland and Rutgers. What am I missing?
You are missing
1. Am I missing 1?
Hang on. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. You're missing 4 schools.
4? Oh my God. Okay, what are the 4 schools?
Right? Because it's 18.
Yeah. What do you got?
So you have you got the western flank,
Right.
and I said, okay, now go Central Time, and you went straight to Indiana. Okay, I can respect that. You got Indiana, Purdue.
Right.
You got Northwestern, but you forgot Illinois.
Mm-hmm.
You skipped right over Iowa and Nebraska,
Yep, I would.
and then you forgot Minnesota up there with Wisconsin.
Okay. Good game. Good game. Let's stop recording, okay? And let's save this. Hi, Eric.